Cheers, guys. Welcome back. So, today we are going to be brewing the exact opposite of this. We are brewing the American Light 20-minute boil kit from Midwest Supplies. This is probably the lightest beer kit that they offer. It doesn't have any specialty grains. It only has one addition of aroma hops at the very end. It's sort of like the Cooper's kits, where they give you a can of your pre-hopped malt extract, and then they give you a bag of the dried, unhopped malt extract. And then, like I said, they give you some hops for an aroma addition. All the bittering hops are already in here. And then our yeast. So, without further ado, what we're going to do, we're going to get all these kettles of water here boiling up. This will be our, this will be the wort kettle here. This I'm just going to warm up to basically soften this up, because you guys know this is pretty thick stuff. It pours a lot better when it's really, really warm. And then I'm actually boiling another kettle of water here to use to clean out the inside of this and then to put into our boil kettle. So, let's get to this. Alright, so our water is up to boiling, so I shut it off here. It's going to cool down. We'll open the lid here, being careful not to burn ourselves with steam. And if you set this down on something upside down, it'll stay nice and sanitized because it's pretty much been boiled. So we'll just set that over there. Alrighty, so looking good in there. This is our liquid malt extract. We've gone ahead and took the label off. It's been sitting in the hot water, so it's nice and warm. It's not super hot, but we're going to be rinsing it out with boiling water anyway, so no need to worry about that. Okay. I'll actually see if I can use a magnet here to pull this out. No, that won't work. I'll have to use a spoon. Groovy. Alrighty, so here it is. Smells very sweet. Smells pretty good. So, we'll grab, before I grab that, I will put the spoon here. And we'll get this going. Much lighter than the other extracts I brewed. You guys can see that, I'm sure. Very nice and light. Like I said, this is their American Light kit. Pretty much all malt extract, and it's going to be a very light beer. My thought was, after the move, this will be the perfect brew to relax to. Just sit down, have a couple, and chill out. So we've emptied this can into the brew kettle, and now I'm going to pour in some boiling hot water to give it a clean. You don't want to waste any of that malt extract there. I decided to move it over to the sink because I didn't have a tea kettle or anything like that to pour it in with any sort of precision. So we'll just give this a stir, and then I will pick it up with this. You don't want to touch that with your hands because that is boiling hot now. So we'll just give this another stir here. And in it goes. Nice and clean. That's what you want to see there. Okay, so we'll set that there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our dry malt extract. This is moving around in here. You want to make sure you keep it moving because the malt extract will sink down to the bottom and it will scorch. That's why I turn the heat off, several minutes prior to actually putting the malt extract in there, because you don't want to scorch it. You'll get a really bad burn taste, and that's no good at that point. So now this is our dry malt. Remember, as soon as the steam hits this, it's going to turn into like kind of like a pasty, type consistency. So you want to kind of pour it in as quickly as you can, but you don't want to go so fast that that it clumps, because it is kind of the consistency of powdered sugar. Perfect. Oh, pretty good. See, only that bit there kind of got stuck, so I'll just... We're going to be boiling this, so you don't have to worry about it being too sanitary. Thank you. Alright, so now we'll just stir this for a couple minutes here, get it all mixed in, and then we're going to heat this up to a boil, and boil this batch for 20 minutes. 20-minute boil kit. Quick and easy. Okay, so our wort has reached a boil. We're now going to set the clock here for 17 minutes. It's a 20-minute boil, but the last 3 minutes is when we add our aroma hops. So, in 17 minutes we will be doing that. We'll see you then. So this has been boiling for 17 minutes now. We're going to add a ½ ounce of the Cascade hops for aroma. So here we go. And away it goes. Mmm. Those smell good. So now we're going to boil these for 3 minutes, and then we're going to kill the heat. Alright, that means we're done with our boil, so we're going to kill the heat, take our sanitized lid, put it right on top there, and now I'm going to go over to the sink and get it filling up with some cold water, because we need to cool this down to about 70 degrees. So we'll see you guys at the sink. So we've got our ice bath here set up. And we've got our sanitized spoon here. So I've found that if you stir your wort here, keep it moving and keep the water on the outside of the brew kettle moving, the two do a bit of a heat exchange, and you can actually cool your wort down very, very quickly. This method usually only takes me 10 or 15 minutes, and guess what? I didn't have to spend, you know, like $100 on a wort chiller. So, this method is good enough for me. Alright, so we've got the wort cooled down to 70.8 degrees. We've got the primary fermenting bucket here sanitized, as well as our strainer sanitized. So, without further ado, let's get this put in here. And in it goes. I pour it from up high so that way it gets nice and aerated as it goes in. But coming closer to the end, I don't want the hop sediment to get forced through the sieve, so I pour it a little bit slower and a little bit lower. And there's that sediment. Nice and slow so that way it can just drain the wort into the bucket, and then we're left with some sludge and some sludge. So now what we'll do, we'll just get this up into the sink here, and we will top it off with our top-off water. So we've got the water here flowing out of the tap at about 70 degrees or so. So it's time to top this up to just above the 5-gallon mark. The wort temperature was sitting right at 70.8 degrees, I believe. So, with this water temperature matching as it's going in, the yeast are pretty much going to be able to be pitched right into here with little to no weight, which is what I like. It's the lag in between pitching your yeast and you know, cooling down your wort is where most infection can occur. So it's best to get that done as quickly as possible. So once we get this filled up, we will be back to take a hydrometer reading and pitch our yeast.